Allow me to reintroduce myself.
You are now tuning in to the Snap Call Podcast.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Snap Call Podcast. I am Xavier.
I'm nice.
Hector.
And welcome to what's been a long time. It's been a long time. I think the last time we did an episode, I think, was to recap really our Vegas trip. We've come together a couple times to make some content, but yeah, I think it's been a minute. We haven't had a chance to kind of sit and talk about the poker ongoings and the poker world as a whole, but we're back, and we got a pretty juicy episodes in regards to some drama surrounding some Club WPT Gold stuff, Jungleman heads up, and just poker in general. So we're gonna jump right into it, not waste any time, and talk about the Club WPT Gold drama. So we'll talk about this in our opinions in a second, but essentially what Club WPT Gold has rolled out is a new feature where people can pay to see their opponent's folded hole cards. That title alone is just jumping off the page, right? Because that can go in so many ways. If you said that 10 years ago, that would be just kind of mind blowing. But I want to open up the floor and just ask Ice, as Club WPT came out and said, hey, this is a new feature. You don't have to, quote unquote, have trouble sleeping tonight, not knowing what your opponent's hand was. It's pretty crazy stuff and kind of revolutionary, but also mind-boggling for poker. So what are your thoughts when Club WPT rolled that out?
Yeah, so the first time I heard about it was from your boy with the K6, Rob Kuhn. He posted something like pretty much like what is poker at right now, just because of that. And it's just like, as a player and as an avid like poker like watcher and stuff like that, a lot of what you like about it is that unknown. Like, okay, did he bluff me? Did he not? And if you bluff somebody, you don't want people to know unless you show your card. So it's just like, because that can affect the play later on, especially in this cash session, because this is where the cash games are. So it's just like, you don't want them to know exactly what you had, because in that case, for me, it kills the action. Because you're just like, well, if he's bluffing, whatever, I'm gonna find out anyway. I just paid 2 big blinds to find out.
Yeah,
I think it's horrible. But I think it's a bigger picture. I think WPT, Club WPT, I think in New Jersey or Pennsylvania, like something's going on, you can't play there. So I think they're trying to make the most money as possible. Because I think something's coming down where they probably won't be in all the states like they are now. So personally, I just think they're trying to get all the money they can in now.
Hector, what do you think?
It's crap. It's just crap. I mean, as a player, the number one rule is you got to pay to play. If you want to see my cards, you have to pay what I bet to see it. So if you don't, you don't get it. You don't get a discount for folding. You know what I mean? So a few caveats, right? I don't know. One, is that money going to the player? Because we do that all the time at the table. Like, hey, $5, let me see it, or $10, show me the bluff, or something like that. That's okay if I agree to it.
Yeah.
If I don't agree to it, if you're just doing it just because they're offering and taking the money and not giving me a cut because it's my hand, I mean, that's just as much as rake is better. It's just crap. It's not a good thing. The only way I would agree to it, that say that it's okay, is that it's a button that I could say that it's that, hey, that option doesn't apply to me. I don't want to do it. Or say a certain table, right? A certain cash game, a certain table is like, hey, this table pays to see your whole cards. Then sure, why not?
Yeah.
You know you're going into it or whatever, but you have to have that option of taking it out, because that's what poker is. Poker is paying to see the information, and you're just getting a 3 blind discount. I mean, I'll always fold.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I think you nailed it with, you got to pay to play, right? Or you got to pay to see it. And these people are paying, but the money's going to Club WPT. Like, so this is just like an added like revenue stream for them, and people are going to play it, right? You're going to have that guy that's been running bad for hours and is like, like I gotta see this one, you know, and they're gonna pay. Like I don't see any other way around this to make it better. I think it's
Mhm.
terrible. Doug Polk blasted it, and he's one of the site's ambassadors. Brian Rash, Sean Deeb, Matt Berkey, like all of these guys have blasted it, and it's I think consensus is it's bad. It's bad. It's bad for the game. Um, I think the only thing that can make it good is if one, like in your account or profile settings, maybe at like a certain you can check off like at certain stakes that you'll allow your whole cards to be shown because they're not even giving you the option. That's just crazy. I think they should
Yeah,
allow you to make the decision whether your whole cards could be shown, and then a couple things. Maybe there has to be some sort of revenue split between you and the site if you're going to allow it, right? Because your action is dictating that this person willingly paying out of their pocket to see it, right? So like you should get a cut if someone's willing to pay. But also like maybe allow that player to set a threshold, right? Like at a minimum, like you do at the tables, at a minimum $5. You got to pay $5 if you want to see that player's whole cards, and then that's split between the player and the site. Something like that. Do I think it's
yeah.
still good? No. But I think that's one way they can make it better or at least like justifiable is if they're going to pay the player. But I don't know. I mean, if they allowed some sort of model like that where it's like revenue sharing and anyone can turn it off whenever they want, would you guys be open to that or no?
I'll let you
I
go.
would I would want to set my price. Like for example, like if you win a hand, they should give you like an option, like show cards, like and then like pretty much like when you're betting and you have like how much you want to like. Hey, it's gonna cost you 200 to see my hand. This hand, if you want to see it, like kind of like that, or like that option, because then it's just like I can dictate my price to
Hmm.
see the cards I have if you want to see them.
Yeah.
But they
Yeah.
said they rolled it out in Asia a while back and it did good for them. So I don't know if they that's really something that like we can track and stuff like that because obviously you know we're more like poker players in America more like they would criticize anything they would get on Twitter, so you can find that easily. So
Yeah.
I don't think it did good in Asia either because as poker players you don't want people to know your cards. Like end of the day it is what it is. Like
Yeah.
you don't.
I wouldn't mind the set your price thing. That I think that's kind of cool because I mean, like I said, we do that at the table, but I think out of principle, I would just know because you don't the site should not get percentage.
Yeah.
It's my play. I'm the one that's playing. You're already getting rake. No, like it's just no. I
Yeah.
don't think they should have any pull or benefit in any way from that. Just because they're facilitating. It's a algorithm. It's not like someone's there taking time.
The crazy thing is you just don't see the person you're going against hold cards. You see everybody at the tables hold cards too.
Yeah,
Yeah. No,
So it's
that's
just
that's
like
crazy.
that's like if
yeah.
I
That's
fold
not
out like a
really.
gun, right? And I fold like a little tight, I don't want people to know like, hey, I'm playing super tight, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just like so it's just like I don't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's games like that. We see them online. We see high roller games that they're playing. That hey, you have to show at least one card every hand, no matter what, or something like that. So I think if they have tables like certain games, like hey, oh, this is that type of game. Sure, why not? Like you're advertising it, you're letting them consent to it.
Yeah.
But just a blanket, everyone gets to do it, and everyone gets information. Nah,
Yeah.
that ain't it. That ain't it, Flippy. You guys are
There's
brainstorming. I'll give you that, but
yeah.
no, not that.
It's interesting, right? Like, and I think the whole thing's kind of by design, right? You have Club WPT being like very edgy when it came to like the memes and when they were first launched. Club WPT Gold, right? When it came to like the memes and kind of calling out like certain players or certain platforms or another tournament series like WSOP, like they were not shy during the summer to kind of be a little bit edgy, right? This is about as edgy as it gets for a poker platform. This wasn't like voted on by U.S. players. It wasn't something that was kind of eased in or anything like that. So, from my understanding, it just kind of launched. So, if they did like a trial run in Asia, great. But I heard nothing about this being an option
An eight
in
figure
Asia.
poker match has
So it's like it just kind of makes you think like, are they just doing this for like publicity, another revenue stream, and then it's like, hey, if we get enough pushback, we'll just go from there, or what exactly is it? But
This is the new more rake is better.
yeah,
Don't try to
I think
sugarcoat a money grab and make it something else.
yeah, I think at the very least, you should have an option. You're already paying rake, right? They're already getting your share. Uh, at the very least, you should have the option to turn that feature off. Because what's gonna happen is it's gonna lead to like chip dumping allegations down the line, right? Or something like something's gonna come up where it's like I kept seeing this guy holds cards, or I kept picking up on specific tells, and like, and with like the use of bots so heavily used on all these platforms now, like it's gonna pick up on, hey, this person literally played every single hand in this tournament optimally, like something's up. So I don't know, just interesting nonetheless. um I'm all for growing the game of poker, but I don't believe this is the right way unless you guys feel otherwise.
Nope. It's crap.
It's crap.
I'll say yeah.
It's crap. Agreed. Agreed. Club WPT, man. Give them credit for trying new things, because they aren't shy about doing that. But this is
Yeah,
not the way.
I give a lot of credit to Doug Polk for coming out as well too, because he's always on Negrano and on people with stuff like if they promote a site, he criticizes them as well too. But he came out and went against WPT, which is good. Hopefully, and you're not going to see it from Ivy because he's just not that type of person. He can care less.
Yeah.
But guys that promote their code like Rampage, Brad Owen, uh, Wolfgang, they need to come out and say something as well too, because they have a big voice in this as well too.
Agreed. Yeah, no, that's a good point. That's a good point, because a lot of these guys, when people use their codes for their promos, they're getting a kickback, and
Yeah.
Polk is like, I'm gonna say something even if it affects my kickback.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that's a really good point. All right,
I
well,
mean, not to give them complete crap. I mean that upswing poker acquisition is a win for them
for Club
for
WPT.
WPT Gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, how does that, like, and maybe I didn't look into it enough, but how is that partnership gonna benefit those on the site? Like, do they have access to like training
They
modules or something? Is that what it is?
yeah, yeah. They get a certain amount of like chips, I guess, for having the subscription or the site, and so they can use that for games. But then they also have certain like training courses that are like free, like tiered up within the site.
Hmm, okay.
I'm not 100% sure of the setup, but I know it was like you get best of both worlds depending where you were. Like if you were already with Club PT WPT, then you got some features, and if you were with them, they 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 migrated you pretty seamlessly.
Cool. Cool. All right. Well, switching up topics, Ice, do you want to take it from here?
Yeah, this past week, we had a great heads up matchup between Daniel Jungleman Gates and Monarch. Monarch is like a owner of a casino overseas, and they play heads up. And Jungleman won 3 consecutive heads up matches for $15 million. Literally the biggest heads up match broadcasted. Uh, Obviously, the promotion for that was shitty because it's like I didn't know until the last second. I was on Twitter and it was just like, "Hey, watch this $5 million heads up." I was like, 5 million? I clicked on it and it was like them two playing heads up, and it was like, you guys couldn't promote this better. Like, we're talking about $5 million heads up. Like, they could have done a better job. Basically, it's heads up. So there were some matches that went super quick, some matches that lasted longer. Um, Honestly, nobody outplayed nobody there. It was just, you know,
Variance.
Jungleman was getting it. Yeah, pretty much. But what are your thoughts on that?
The first thing came to mind as well is, holy cow, like these are massive buy-ins. How did we not know any of this was taking place? I know last time we spoke, we talked about like the Heads Up Championship, right? That's been broadcasted on like national television before. And we, even then we were trying to get more information on that because it was like, oh, we're gonna film in the fall, Poker Go, NBC partnership, but we didn't really get a lot of info. And then all of a sudden, this massive one comes out of nowhere. I don't know. It's just interesting. Kudos to Jungleman. I mean, the guy's an absolute beast, right? I always enjoy watching heads up poker, especially when people are super deep. And it's on the high roller scene because you're really getting some of the best. And that's what you want to watch to study, not like these super gimmicky cash games, that a lot of these casinos are starting to stream. So from like a content standpoint, I think that's great. I just was really disappointed that I didn't hear about it until there was an eventual winner. So
Yeah. I'm honestly, I knew from social media Jungleman won a big sum of money, but other than that, I don't know. I don't like, where was it at? It was on Poker Go.
No, it was on Kick, I believe.
On Kick. So they
Yeah,
streamed it on Kick.
but it was pretty much like Jungleman posts a link and then you
Yeah.
click it and it takes you right to it. So it was just like, but it was like, look, I was on Twitter last second. I was like,
Yeah.
heads up, 5 million. I clicked and it's like they playing, and the
It's
comments are
almost
just
like they bet if they could stream it in the middle of the game.
yeah,
yeah,
literally, it's
Like,
like
if I win this match, can I post it on Twitch? Okay.
yeah, right.
so
Bet.
now you got a lot of high rollers and a lot of guys are just like trying to get in there. So it's just like hopefully this was just like a test run, and maybe they
Mhm.
didn't want a lot of people in because maybe they didn't know how good the stream was going to be. Um, so hopefully this leads to like Doug Polk even said like, hey, I'm gonna throw a heads up challenge myself at the lodge,
Yeah.
$100 million, but pretty much just like joking around like he does, but kind of like he wants an invite to that too. So just like hopefully we can get Jungle Man to start playing heads up against other people, Monarch, all these guys, and then stream it live. That'd be awesome. Every month you see a top pro or a guy with a lot of money going up against another guy with a lot of money, heads up
Yeah.
for millions. Like
Yeah, no, heads up, high stakes has always been the biggest eyes of poker, like I remember just going to full tilt, not even playing, just watching Tom Dwan and whoever just play for nosebleeds for no reason. Same thing on Poker Stars, like that was just what it is. So seeing it on TV it's awesome. It's just it doesn't really happen anymore. Not, publicly anyway.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. It was disappointing as a whole. Because let's be real, right? Like, if poker was captured better from like a content standpoint, it would help the game grow when it's not WSOP season, right? Like we're entering what is probably the slowest time of year for poker. Everyone kind of winds down, kind of gets ready for the holidays, and then it starts to pick up again in the beginning of the year. Um, but the content game continues to grow, and this just seems like a really big missed opportunity. I wish I can comment on like some of the hands and the action, but
Yeah.
because it was so limited, just didn't really get to catch any of that. So that's just that's
Mhm.
just that's just tough.
it's bad enough that you can't even see the World Series of Poker unless you subscribe to Poker Go. I was watching a Brad Owen vlog about he just posted one about his main event run, and he was saying like his dream was cashing the main event, obviously winning it, but the main thing was cashing it because he saw Moneymaker, he saw the main event on ESPN. You're not gonna get that now. It's just like it's
Yeah.
you either play cards, but you will never get it. Like as far as like people watch, turn on the TV and see poker, and like they fall in love with it. Like our generation, you're not gonna see that.
No.
Dude, you could watch hours of World
Mm.
Series of Poker on ESPN, man. It
Now
was
you can
like,
you can put replays on and stuff like that when there's nothing going on in the morning. Instead of listening to Stephen A. Smith on 10 shows, you can watch the WSOP.
Yeah. I mean, listen, we dodged a bullet this summer though, because we were talking about getting a Poker Go subscription, billing it to the podcast. For what? To watch the main event final table take like 2 hours?
yeah.
Like that would have been such a waste of money. Yeah, we got to get all our updates in Twitter in real time. Um, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully it's better captured in the future. There's gonna be a crap ton of Titan between now and WSOP, and I will say Titan from a production standpoint and from like just a skill standpoint, there's probably not a better poker product out there from like us, as far as like streaming. So excited to see some Triton stuff pop up between now and WSOP, which we have plenty of time for.
And then we were talking about Jungleman, high stakes, heads up guy. Let's talk about another high stakes poker player, Jesse Lonis. It's quite a heater. This past year, he won a couple events, and then he recently won the 102K Onyx Invitational for 1.7 million. 88 total entries. He busted Phil Ivory in third, and then won heads up. But then he also last Sunday he finished third in a 100K event and won 706,000 for the EPT Super High Roller, no limit. So not only does he win in PLO, but he's winning in no limit as well too. Um, he's one of those guys that started off as, I think he was a union worker in New York, I believe, and he just loved poker and decided to take the poker route, and now he's dominating. What are your thoughts on Jesse Lonis? I know Xavier, that's your boy. You picked him, I think, in fantasy, or you picked him a few. Like you called him out pretty much a couple of times this year as far as being one of the best players. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I mean, big believer in Jesse. I had read a lot about him prior to really even before like his big coming out, I guess you could say party before Triton. And then watched a lot of Triton before WSOP and liked his game and then drafted him and just been a believer. But dude's just great, right? Like it's a great combination of just running good and playing good. But he's doing it against the best, right? Like he's not doing it against nothing to take away from the circuits, right, or anything like that. But he's doing it, he's busting Phil Ivey in third place, right? Like, and he's winning these tournaments and running deep in like dominating fashion. So, um, yeah, someone recently had said that he's like the second coming of Ivy. Maybe he just might be a little bit late to the scene, but he's that good. So, I wouldn't say he's the next Ivy or something like that, but he plays fearless, which I like, and yeah, just kind of excited to see what he's gonna do at the WSOP next year.
Is it me, or is like we're just seeing a lot more of Ivy, and like he's being more like friendly to the camera and like just talking more to people, and whereas before he was like, that Michael Jordan mythical guy that just was like, nah, I don't want to talk to nobody, and now it just seems like, hey, like you're friendly.
Uh, I think WPT is paying him a
Yeah.
decent amount, so he's like forced to be on camera. Just like back in the day when Full Tilt was paying him, you see more of him. So now WPT is throwing the bag at him. So they do skits with him and they interview him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you see him there. You see him a lot more out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's losing the mystique a little bit.
I think a lot of it
I mean, I don't
too
want to say
is
against him, but
yeah. No, I think a lot of it too is the whole lawsuit that he had with the whole Borgata stuff, with the whole Baccarat thing years ago,
yeah,
like that's when he was kind of off the grid, and like they were essentially kind of like, I don't want to say they were like looking for him, but there was a lot of drama, and then no one really knew where he was, and he was in Macau playing freaking poker with Tom Dwan. So it seems like since they've, I don't know if settled, but since there's been a little bit more clarity on that whole situation, he's been around a lot more, which is a good thing, right? I mean, right after
yeah.
WSOP, I don't know if you guys saw, he was at some sneaker convention picking up like some
Yeah.
Yeah.
$40,000
That's
sneakers or
what I'm
something,
saying.
and I was like, we would have seen this 10 years ago. So yeah, no, I, I
Yeah.
I agree. It's good, right? It's good to like
Yeah.
see poker's, you know, Michael Jordan essentially like humanized, right? Like he's not
Mhm.
just a robot and he's not just at the table all the time. Like he's actually out in public. So it's always a good thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, switching it up and going back to poker in terms of like content, right? Like, and the slow season. What are you guys watching right now? Um, Let me rephrase that. With it being poker slow season, right? Like from a content standpoint, staying involved with poker, what are you guys watching or studying or whatever you want to call it
YouTube.
now to stay engaged with poker?
YouTube. I'm catching up on a
Outside
lot
of
of
this podcast, right?
yeah, catching up on a lot of videos that I did. Like I think I only went like 20 videos deep with Negreanu. It was like a week before we went to Vegas, and then I was like, "Oh, I'm already here. Why do I need to see his video?" And then I just never went back to it. So watching Brad Owen, and then it also takes them a while to like actually put their stuff together and put it out there to see what their summer was like. Watching Boski, DePaulo is putting stuff out from his summer still. So those Jonathan Little videos, and then actually just playing on ACR.
Yeah. What about you, Ice?
That's pretty much what I'm doing.
YouTube, a lot of YouTube. Just obviously, I like Brad Owen. I watch Rampage vlogs and stuff like that. Play a little bit Club WPT here and there. But overall, the cash games too I've been watching, like Hustle Live and stuff like that, which half the time is more like comical for me. Like it's hard to study from that just because like you see like unreal stuff. Like you see guys shipping it or making calls, like 200 something $1,000 calls with hands that you shouldn't even be in the pot with. So it's just like it's hard to kind of like study from that. But it's like you just see the same characters there, so it's kind of like I consider like like a soap opera episode. Like, oh look, Rampage is playing Mariano, playing Airball. Let's see who wins this pot. And just kind of see the results. But
Yeah.
mainly YouTube. I haven't been watching too much. Watched Rounders today, so that was pretty good.
I think we all popped rounders on today after we were texting this morning. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Ears perked
tough.
up and like walking around the rounders.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's put that.
it's tough this time of year, right? Because like a lot of those vloggers aren't posting as much. I only got to the episode of when we arrived for Vegas as far as like Negreanu's vlogs. The only other episode I watched was the ones that we were in the background. Um, so yeah, it's tough. And I'll tell you now, like those high stake cash games don't interest me. They don't. I want to watch them, but between being super gimmicky, um, I don't feel like I'm watching real poker. You're seeing people
Yeah.
call off things with like ridiculous hands. Um, it just seems like if it is even legitimate, it's just people with a lot of money probably have a ton of each other in terms of like I have a piece of this person, this person, this person, and they're probably just being told play kind of reckless for some, you know, for some ratings, and we'll get you a cut of revenue cut of like the viewers. I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
not interesting to me. I'd rather watch old poker after dark episodes where people are folding two pair, but you're watching some of the best players back in the day. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems more legitimate. Especially when like these high stakes poker games, like it seems like every episode there's like some new millionaire that's on it that I've never heard of, but apparently he's some whale that's really good. Like
Yeah.
whatever, you give him some play chips.
So,
Like what are we doing here?
so would you, just from a play standpoint, would you rather see like crazy laydowns or like crazy bluffs?
What is more interesting to me? A crazy
Yeah.
laydown or a crazy bluff? I think a crazy
Yeah.
laydown. I think a crazy laydown is more interesting to me because um that would intrigue me so much and would get my wheels turning in terms of like why what
Mhm.
thought process wise what got you to lay that down,
Yeah.
outside because I could, from the bluffing standpoint I can think of, oh, okay, like, well, I could tell you that you clearly didn't put him on X, Y, and Z, that's why you made that move. But from a folding standpoint, like what did you put him on? Because there's a billion other combos you can put him on. So I don't know. I'd rather see crazy folds than crazy
Yeah.
bluffs.
Well, I mean, that's exactly what you don't see in those games.
Exactly. Yeah. What do you think, guys? Like from these cash games, these high stake cash games, like what are your thoughts?
I would like to see good poker. Like I want to see like obviously um it's streamed, right? So it's live. So the majority of the 4 hours is on. You're not gonna see a lot of action, right? But then like the hands that they do clips of and stuff like that. I want to see good poker. Like I want to see like two hands going at it and then somebody outplays somebody else. Like they both got, for example, King 10, but somebody plays it better than the other person like that. Just like good poker. I don't want to see like oh, I'll ship it with King Nine. Somebody calls with Jack Four like Robbie, and so that whole high stakes stuff there, just with that situation, I'm already on the fence with it. So, but I like to
Yeah.
see good poker. Like back in the day, you would see good poker. You see Dirk try to make a bluff, right? And then you see these top pros that just like, does he have it? Does he not have it? Like his range is so wide, he can have seven deuce here. Next, it is a bluff, and then sometimes he has it, but you can tell it's like, all right, in order for him to win the pot, he has to do this. Now it's just like you get guys that get jammed into, right? And then they call with like third pair, and it's just like and they lose. It's like that's not a good call. Like
Yeah.
no matter what, like you there's like 30K in the pot and they bet 150K. What are you doing calling? Like if you think it's a bluff, but you calling with third pair, like there's nothing like and then end up losing and it's just like, oh, I know you didn't really have anything, but it's like, yeah, but you still had third pair. Like, what are you calling that? So it's just like just bad poker right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Too many people trying to be nine high like a boss.
Yeah.
But I agree. I mean, my favorites were always Negreanu calling out people's hands.
It's a
Like,
lost
and
art.
not just like, hey, I put you on this range. No, this is your hand. You know what I mean? And that was always like just what drew me in. That I was like, yeah, like this is poker. But I think I just saw videos with Tony Hinchcliffe and Doug Polk. And Tony Hinchcliffe is a comedian. He had Ace King, no, Ace 10, and Polk had Pocket Kings. And the flop comes Ace, whatever. And, Tony bets and he says, your kings are no good. And, they play it to the end. And eventually he shoves. And Tom calls him just to give him the money because says, hey, you deserve it for saying my hand. And I'm like, yeah, that's a little, whatever, but it was like, you still appreciate it. I was like, that's my favorite part, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. It's a lost art calling out people's cards like that, people's hands.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you guys have any, because I have an idea as far as what would not only grow poker, but uh, just bring light to players and lifestyles and different things that we would have interest in. Not just like somebody that's just getting into poker. Uh, and imagine a full swing version of poker. Or is that what it called? Full swing?
Upswing.
What's the swing? What's the Netflix show with the golfers?
Yeah, full swing.
Okay. So imagine a full
Or
swing
documentaries.
version of golf. You follow along very, accomplished poker players, and then you follow along some guys that are just hitting the circuit, right? So maybe you can follow along Maurice Hawkins, right? That's on the circuit, but then you follow along some high rollers like Jesse Lonis, so you kind of get both sides, and then you follow along, the everyday 2-5 grinder that's at the local card room or something, kind of leading up to WSOP. Now I know there's been plenty of poker documentaries and following people's bankroll challenges and et cetera, but not in like that type of way. Because and the reason why I think it would be so good and so entertaining is because when I got into golf last year, a month later I watched Full Swing, and that kind of introduced me to like some of the players, that I can now watch and say, oh, I know a little bit about them, and learn a little bit more about the game itself and kind of what these guys put their bodies through. So yeah, I think having a poker version of that would actually be pretty cool. I don't know. That's just me. I don't know what are your guys' thoughts.
Yeah, there was this one documentary where it was following a couple people, especially this lady that she wanted. I think she was from like Seattle or something like that. She wanted to get like an endorsement deal right before Black Friday hit for poker. Uh, that was a pretty good documentary. Like they would follow, she'd be an online player, and then she would travel for tournaments and stuff like that. But just trying to get a brand deal because she knows with that brand deal, she'll get paid. And especially this was like Full Tilt and Poker Stars back in the day when they were giving brand deals out. That was pretty cool. And then just seeing different people from different countries and different states, like pretty much follow the poker, like kind of like the full swing.
Mm-hmm.
But we can do that with top pros. But I feel like a lot of these top pros are frauds as far as just like how much are they actually putting of their money and stuff like that. So I don't know that documentary is going to work when they realize, like, hey, this guy is just backed. So it's just like, I don't know how much interest people will lose with that. Because it's different when somebody puts in their own money instead of like having like, hey, this guy has 90%, I have 90% out there. So it's just like, I'm only in for 10%. So
I think that could make it more interesting too, though, right? Like if we see that side of poker that we know exists, but we don't get tons of exposure to. Like imagine getting a little bit more insight into Maurice Hawkins, you know, and his deals and how they, you know, outside of the podcast he did, right? Like that would be interesting. I think could shed some light onto that side of interest. And maybe it makes certain players look less strong or less interesting, but I think it could be beneficial.
I like it. I mean, I just always remember like what throws me is that MTV. There was like I'm a, and they had professional poker play. It was Nick Showman that they followed for a couple days.
Hmm.
I remember that episode. It was
Oh, I think we lost your audio.
you're muted. You muted yourself.
oh, there we go. Sorry, I had a alarm. But yeah, like they met him in a hotel. He was playing high stakes, full tilt, heads up, 4 matches at the same time. He was watching like sports games, and then after he was done, he goes to the pool hall and he's betting $1,000 pool games, and then he goes to go play poker like for real. And the guy was like, he says this is a habit, but he's been 48 hours straight with no sleep and has been gambling all the time on everything. At what point is that a problem? But I mean, hey, look at him now, right?
Considered
Got a
Hall of
bracelet.
one
Fame.
of the best,
Yeah.
one of the best ever,
Yeah,
and still very young. You know, very
yeah,
young, which is
yeah.
crazy. Yeah, I don't know. It's just I just feel like I watch Negreanu's vlogs, and I'm like,
Mhm.
they're so high production value that I'm like, I would love to see someone else do something similar, right? Like, I love Boski's stuff. I would love to see some of Boski's stuff, but with Negreanu style. Now, could do less with the dogs and the girlfriend and the diet and all that
Yeah.
stuff, right? But like I don't know, just the way that setting is, I think is really interesting. Like, look, Robert Kuhn, I think
But then
moved
you're gonna
to.
see Ms. Rocky that he's just gonna get out of bed and go play poker and then win $1 million and then go back to sleep.
That's all right. I mean, look at Robert
You
Kuhn.
know,
I think
like yeah, no training, no nothing. Just I just play, I do it.
Robert Kuhn, I think just moved to Costa Rica. I think he sold his home
Yeah,
in the U.S. and he just moved to Costa Rica. ACR is legal to play there. He's one of ACR's biggest ambassadors. Like that's pretty intriguing stuff, right? If poker was
yeah,
legal here in the U.S., that's not something he would do. So little things like that, like unless you're on Twitter and following these people and day in day out, like you would have no idea. But I just think it
yeah.
makes for like fun, interesting topics. I
I
don't know.
like it.
Yeah, but maybe we just got to pitch it to Justin Smith. Justin,
Produced,
let's get a full
produced
swing.
by Snapcall.
Yeah,
I think they should follow uh Negrano, Sean D, Scott Seaver,
The
Martin Cabral,
player of the
whatever his
year.
name is. Just guys that will compete for player of the year at the WSOP. You follow them throughout the off season and then seeing what they do, and then WSOP they put everything together. Like, hey, you know, leading up to WSOP and then the WSOP, and then they can kind of like when they bust a tournament, they can be like, hey, start interviewing them, see their live reactions from when they bust a tournament.
I like that. That would actually be really cool, right? Maybe just a summer series of following the four like people that are 100% going to be going for player of the year. Like that would be actually really really interesting. Like people would 100% come and watch that. I know I would. Like looking at their preparation, watching them bust a table and being like, "All right, time to head over to Paris." Got to go jump in another one. Like that's crazy. I think it was you, Ice. You said you saw a guy bust, stand up, turn around, and he sat at a table right next door, right? Like that's that's poker now with in 2025. Even a year ago that wasn't possible. So that's pretty cool. I'm
So
excited to
that
see
was
the WSOP app.
that was one of
Go
my
ahead.
that was one of my few highlights. I busted Texas Mike, and then he bought into the tournament and sat down 3 tables to the right of us. So it was just like
It's crazy.
You
that's
thought you
all.
busted him.
Yeah, I was like, hey, this app is pretty cool. And like, you literally bust out a table. By the time he put on his backpack, he's buying in, and then he looks up and he's like, okay, the table's right there, and sits back down. So
Yeah.
That's insane. Like that's super cool. I'm excited to see WSOP Plus expand that the app itself expand, right? Like we talked about certain things that they could do better. Um
Mhm.
but I will say like in the beginning we didn't like it. That would be really cool to see something like that continue to expand and become even more um you know part of the game, cuz how cool would it be for all these other tournaments to use a similar platform, right? Like maybe it's not necessarily as needed because a lot of these other tournament series aren't as big, but it would be kind of cool to just, head to Orange City. If you got money in your account, just buying on your phone. You don't got to walk up to a cage and just go sit down at your table. Like it could take you 5 extra minutes. It probably isn't a huge deal, but just that ease, that accessibility piece, I think is pretty cool. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, Hector, tell us. Speaking of Orange City, next topic. Lead us into what's currently taking place over there.
Are we talking about the $250,000 mayhem?
Oh yeah,
Unleash the mayhem. I mean, it's the first time I've ever heard about it. So a 2 room tournament that they're hosting for Daytona and Orange City. $250 buy-in for 250K. I mean, that's crazy value. I promise they're not paying me to say this anymore, but I am really excited for that one.
yeah,
That's just a genuine like, oh wow, this is we're gonna get a lot of runners, and it's going across what 2 weeks. So you still have regular. I think Daytona already finished their week, and now Orange City is starting up their flights, and then they'll go and combine the day two and get that final table stream. And actually, are they streaming? Do we
yeah,
know that?
yeah. They are
I thought
streaming
they
the
were
final table.
promoting the stream, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Sethi Poker and Casino King, right?
Oh
Ice are
yeah,
gonna be doing the final table commentary. Um,
they got Sexy Poker coming. I forgot about that. Look at that.
but yeah,
He's coming down. He might wear one of our hats.
16 total flights across 2 rooms. It's kind of cool to have both rooms to kind of have the ability to do
Yeah.
that. You don't really see that in poker, right?
Hmm.
250K guaranteed, 50K guaranteed to first place. So pretty cool stuff. Ice had a chance to play in it. Outside of talking about the nasty bust out hands, Ice, how was the tournament? How was the energy? I saw a lot of the pros from the Florida circuit, um, you know, making their rounds, and they're already out there. So tell me a little bit about what you saw when you were out there last week.
yeah, so I played the Friday night flight. The PM flight was kind of pretty dead. Like, it was on level two. When I got in, and I had to wait until they filled up more. They had like 30 something entrants at the time. Then eventually started kicking back up. But honestly, for 250K guaranteed, there was a lot of people playing reckless. A lot of all ins, starting stack at 30K, a lot of all ins with calling 5 bets. Like, and it's just like, I was surprised how loose the players were for a 250K guarantee event. I know the buy-in is 250, but still, it's just like, you would think you would want to at least wait until a couple levels until you get out of hand. There was a guy at my table. He busted out 3 people. He flopped a flush. Somebody had top pair, and the other one had bottom two. And it's just like, the guy literally, like, you bet another guy raised, this guy shoves. If you have top pair, you don't even have top kicker. You're supposed to be getting out that hand. But it was just like call. So this guy's sitting at over 120K, where everybody's just starting to buy in to get into the tournament. And then after that, you know how it is. People start playing reckless. Um,
Yeah.
but it's interesting. 2 rooms, which I think they should have done that a long time ago. Just throw bigger guarantees, because tournament players want the guarantees. Like they don't care if it takes 3 weeks. Like the locals, like they'll play this week, and then they'll be like, "Hey, I have 3 weeks to keep firing bullets," and it's just like there's something that now they're starting to take advantage of both the rooms, like joining them together instead of doing like, "Hey, Daytona's here, Orange City's doing their own stuff here," so that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I, we've always talked about how once Orange City opened up and they added that extra room in the stream table, like we have felt like that could be done a little bit more. And the fact that they're going to be doing it is awesome, right? Like anything that's over 100K guarantee, stream the final table, you know? Like that's just going to bring more people to your room. So I love that they're leveraging the fact that they have two poker rooms nearby. I love the fact that they're going to stream the second day. Um, you know, we love Orange City and we love that room as a whole. So I love
Yep.
that they split the sets of flights in between the two. So just exciting stuff. They've done some really cool things there with their tournaments that not a lot of other people are doing. And I feel like since probably before WSOP, this is probably one of their bigger tournaments that they're really kind of going all out in terms of promoting. So good for them. I know we all entered into their giveaway in hopes that we can get future tournament entry for another tournament. So hoping we can free roll into something and yeah, we'll always be fans of Orange City and Daytona. Obviously, we were partners with them
Yeah.
before, so excited to see that room continue to grow, and it's always exciting to see them bring bigger and bigger names from the poker world into the room itself.
And not to mention about their was it big ass high hands now? What 15,000 an hour?
So I didn't get to see. Are you talking about for Labor Day? The Labor Day
Yeah,
guarantee? Yeah, I saw
yeah,
some sort of
I just saw
promotion,
that
but
promotion.
yeah, let me pull up exactly what that is because I meant to look at it. Um,
I assume 5,000 every 20 minutes.
yeah, so we got a Jesus, the stuff they do is nuts. Um, it says $15,000 big ass high hands with $5,000 royal resets. Labor Day September 1st. It says from 10 to 2, 2 to 6, and 6 to 10. It doesn't say exactly how much every 20 minutes or every
Yeah,
30 minutes or what,
that,
but
it could have just been my assumption because that's how they do the other
I,
big.
I think I think they do, like, I could be wrong, like $1,000 every 20 minutes or 30 minutes, and then after that 3 or 4 hour period, they pay out the 5K for the biggest high hand. Like say like straight flush to the jack, right?
that's right.
They give
Yeah,
you
I
that
think that's what it
5K
is.
for those couple hours. But then if you get a royal, you get paid out and then they reset it like, okay,
Yeah, you get
like
5K
royal
guaranteed.
set.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah,
Okay,
that's right. Yeah.
that
I
makes
mean,
sense.
nonetheless, there's not another poker room in the state of Florida that runs those types of promos on high hands. Like
I,
there's just not. Um
I would say the country.
yeah, no, you're right. I think you're right. I mean, I know we always go back and forth and we talk about like the high hands versus the bad beats, like, it's
Yeah,
it's pretty cool stuff, but I think since high hands have been the way to go, they have been 100% the room with the best promotions. They do a really really good job of that. So, yeah, kudos.
WPT. That's what you need to do. High hands.
Right? Yeah, do high hands.
Yeah,
Don't let me see everyone's card by paying you $5. Just do high hands. Make it simple.
yeah.
Like,
Just do high hands.
what are we doing here? Yeah. No, yeah, it's interesting stuff. But cool. All right, well, we got one more topic, Hector, if you want to kind of kick it off. Open floor here. We got college football kicking off this weekend, NFL next week. So, yeah. Hector, you want to take that?
I'm not your guy, man. I don't know anything about college football.
You can mediate between me and Ice as we go back
Okay.
and forth. Even though me and Ice typically are aligned in terms of sports, but yeah, you can mediate the conversation.
All right. Okay. Well, let me look up the the note to episode points because I don't have that. I'm on my phone.
Oh, they're good. What promotions they got going on at Hard Rock Tampa this weekend, Ice?
I have no idea. I haven't even looked.
I'm just trying to think.
They usually do like $500. I don't know what it is. Labor Day. They might have something going on Labor Day.
Yeah, so
I'm pretty sure they got like a tournament, like a good tournament this weekend as well too.
they got a they got a 50K one day on Monday. So it looks like they have a little tournament series starting next Monday. Nothing really over the course of the weekend. So I guess on Labor Day they got a 50K one day. They got a little slick 100K guarantee that starts. Yeah, that's probably their premier tournament going on next week. So that's cool.
The Little Slake 150. How much?
100K,
250.
$200 buy-in, 100K guarantee. 2 day
Starting
tournament.
stack.
Starting stack is
Oh, there we go.
20K starting chips, 30-minute levels, and then it goes to 40-minute levels. So pretty much the little slick that we've done in the past. Pretty much, good value for what you're getting. But
The last time I played there, I had my King's Crack by Jack 9. I got the video. Some one of the stories I posted.
Ice
What are
or
your
Hector, we can run with it, man. It's okay. You can flip your camera.
no, hold on. Who are your picks for college football and NFL? Man, that's it.
Yeah,
Are those specific?
listen, man. I made it easy for
I
you.
was like, are those like specific teams and stuff?
Nah, man. No. You just asked the question. We'll fire it off, man. I try to make it easy for you.
Gotcha. All right, ready? All right, guys. Football season's coming up. Who are your picks for college football?
Nice and simple. Ice, I'll let you go. Let's start with college.
College is always tough with this NIL, this recruitment and stuff like that. But I think this year is going to be the Texas Longhorns. They pretty much always have a top recruiting class, and now they get to start their quarterback Arch Manning. He's been 3 years now with this program, first time actually starting. He sat behind a good college quarterback these last couple of years, and I think sometimes he outplayed him, but it's just like it's hard to sit down a guy that's putting up stats too. So I think this is a year for Texas Longhorns. Obviously, Ohio State, I think, is going to win the Big Ten as well too. And then another team I think that could make a run is Georgia. Just teams going under the radar. All the pressure's on Texas, and it's just like you can't count Kirby Smart out and the Georgia Bulldogs. Those are my 3 picks.
All right, so we got Texas, Georgia, who?
Ohio State.
Ohio State. Who's your pick to win it all? If you had to pick one,
Texas.
Okay. You ever see that game day Saturday with Pat McAfee, and he's doing the Bulldog chants and all that. He goes, "Give me Alabama," and everyone's going crazy. That's where I'm at. No, I don't. I'm with you, and this is why I know we're typically aligned when it comes to sports. Bama. I think it's going to be another solid year before Bama is Bama again, with NIL and all these other schools that have the opportunity to just shell out money. I think it's going to take another solid year, especially with the coach, for Bama to be back. I think from a defensive standpoint, another year under his belt, and like you said, probably played better than Ewers multiple times last year. Archie Manning. I think they're gonna dominate the SEC. I think they have a chance to run the table. Georgia, I think, is kind of feeling that NIL fatigue as well. So they're not gonna be the Georgia that we know. But I definitely think at the end of the day, Texas is I think they're just gonna run the table. I mean that's simple. I don't think there's gonna be any dark horses. There's gonna be good teams. Obviously, we got the playoff in place, but yeah. So with those picks said, we got to talk about UCF football for a quick second. From a record standpoint, what you think would be a successful record for UCF in Frost's first year back, right? What would you say would be a successful record? And obviously, we're not talking, hey, win the Big 12, right? Like that's unrealistic. But what would you say is success in Frost's first year back?
So for me, success will count on making a bowl game. So is it 7 wins to make a bowl game?
6.
It's six,
Um,
six.
6. So I think that would be
I know
ideal.
something.
But end of the day, it's just like we lost a lot last year. A lot of people hit the transfer portal. We got Frost back, and we're in the Big 12 as well too. So we have competition. So it's like kind of hard to put a lot on UCF this year. Uh, Maybe 2 or 3 years down, I see us doing better. But if we get 6 wins, we get a bowl game. I think that's a real successful year.
Okay. So if we went 6-6, that's success.
Yes,
Okay.
get a bowl game. Yes.
Yeah.
That's all I can hope for with my Scarlet Knights every year. So
Scarlet Knights.
they always seem to pull it out, So
They average like 17 points a game, but they just always got a good defense. I give it to them. Looking at UCF's schedule, right? We should start the season 2-0. So that's two gimmies right there. So we got to pick up 4 wins throughout the rest of the season. Um, Big 12 is unpredictable. Not a ton of defense. We know we're gonna have an offense. The defense is what scares me, which we talked about earlier today. Even with Jacksonville State, do they cover that large of a spread? Um, I think I'm predicting we go 7-6. So in my opinion, or sorry, 7-5. And in my opinion, success would be getting a bowl, so going 6-6. But I'm predicting we go 7-5. Looking at the schedule, it's not the easiest schedule, right? Like, I think we can maybe steal North Carolina at home. Kansas State's gonna be tough. We know that Kansas is gonna be tough. Cincy, we can
I
beat. We
don't.
can
I
beat.
don't. I don't think we're going to steal North Carolina home. I don't think North Carolina is good at all. They
I mean,
they lost. They lost to East Carolina last year in the Military Bowl. They got Belichick, but they got no top recruits going into that school. It's not the NFL. Like Belichick has to do a job, like a good job of coaching these players, and especially these young guys that they want everything. Like they never get accountable. They don't want to be accountable for stuff. So I don't think North Carolina. I think we're supposed to be. No, I think we should be favored against North Carolina.
I think we'll be favored. Maybe steal is not the right word, but I don't think it's a gimme. We're talking.
Of
It's
course
probably
not.
it's probably going to be like a field goal favorite,
Yeah.
and we know that on a neutral field, you adjust like 3 points, so it's kind of a pick 'em.
Yes.
So we'll see. Maybe not a steal, but it's one I think we can win. Kansas State's tough. Kansas will be tough. We can beat Cincinnati. We can beat Cincinnati. West Virginia we can beat. On the road in Baylor, Houston always has a ton of offense. That's where like those types of games is where my defense the defense scares me. Texas Tech on the road, Oklahoma State, and then BYU. So I see 7 wins there. I think 6-6 with a bowl game is success, just like you. I think we can pull out 7 wins. Starts
Yeah.
tomorrow.
how
I think
many
it's gonna.
games do you plan on attending?
How many games?
Yep.
I was gonna hit you guys up to go to tomorrow's game, but my son
I'm.
has
I'm going.
practice.
I got. I'm going with Dylan. I'm going tomorrow to the game.
Oh, you are going tomorrow? See,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
if
It's like 15. I pay like $15 just section 106 or 107 or something like that.
yeah.
I don't know.
No, it's
I'm
super
going
cheap.
tomorrow.
If
I
not,
can't
next
go.
next Saturday they play.
Yeah. Next Saturday, the 6th.
But it's just a
I
matter
might. I
of
might be able to go to that one. NCAMT. I might go to that one.
yeah.
I want to go to the North Carolina game, but the North Carolina game is pricey.
Yeah. It's not even that bad. It's like $50, which is not terrible, but for UCF
On
standards.
Ticketmaster, I checked the other day when I bought the Jackson State. It was like $100. Like
Uh
nosebleeds.
on
I could be
Vivid's
wrong though.
on Vivid seats right now, the cheapest ticket's 50.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, so that's not too bad. But yeah, for UCF when you could typically get them for like 30. um but yeah, let's see if we can maybe make a game earlier in the season happen than later if possible before things get real crazy. But yeah, I'm excited for the season, man. Frost back, UC Fast is back. Excited. it's just gonna be nice to have football back. That's
Yeah, I went last year. I went to the home opener. I went to BYU. I went to Colorado. We got whooped, and then after the Colorado game, we started going downhill. Went to the Cincinnati game, we fucking lost, and went to BYU game, we lost too. So it's just like if we don't go early, it could be the same as last year.
that's
It
why
could be just
that's why I like if I'm gonna go to a game this year, it's to see UCF whoop up on a team and Frost be back. Ideally, I want to go to the North Carolina game because I want to see Belichick. But it's all good. We'll figure it out. Actually,
it's funny.
so remember how I told you I'm gonna be going to New Orleans with Keith, right, for his
Yes.
bachelor. The weekend we're in New Orleans, the Patriots are in town to play the Saints.
Ooh.
Nice.
So yeah, hold on, let me just double check. New Saints sketch. I'm pretty sure it's that
And
weekend.
that's a good game. Two bad teams, so
Yo,
you
yo,
know.
yo,
So
yo, year two, Drake May. I don't know about bad. Yeah, they play the Patriots 4:25 on that Sunday, so we're actually gonna get there real early Saturday, and then we're gonna come back like Monday night. So quick 2 days out there, quick flight. So but yeah,
Nice.
you gotta check out that stadium.
I'm gonna throw
Who
it
that?
out. I'm gonna throw it out to Keith. Like, I know you're a football fan like that, but you want to go get trashed at the game, scalp some tickets. Yeah,
Well,
I mean, just to be
speaking
in
of
that
NFL,
stadium.
who do you guys have
Speaking of
for
NFL,
NFL?
I'll go first.
Just say it. Just say it.
Listen,
He even
Travis
has the team
Kelsey.
colors on.
Travis Kelsey is not just getting one ring in the coming year. He's getting a second ring in the form of another Super Bowl ring. I can't go against Mahomes. He owns Allen. He owns Lamar Jackson. Um, Hopefully he'll have some healthy receivers. Hopefully Travis Kelsey gets his stuff together. I gotta go Chiefs, and I see the Chiefs beating the Rams in the Super Bowl. Don't ask me why the Rams. I think the Rams win that division. A healthy Stafford. They got Devontae Adams now, Puka, Sean McVay. Give me Chiefs over the Rams in the Super Bowl this year.
That's good. I do like KC in the AFC, but and not to go against Mahomes, you can go against him, but I feel like, and every year it's the same thing. They don't put enough talent around him, and he still makes the Super Bowl. Kelsey's getting old. Um, I think this is the year for Lamar to win it. The Ravens. I feel like the secondary got good. That division's weak. The Bengals, the Steelers are weak. They got no quarterback. They got Aaron Rodgers. Don't get me. Aaron Rodgers is a great Hall of Fame quarterback, but he's 40 something years old. He's not the Aaron Rodgers of old. Um, they got DK, but obviously they lost Pickett, so it's just like.
Yeah.
So I think Lamar. This is the year for Lamar.
You like Ravens to win that division over the Bengals? Or do you still have
Yes.
Bengals winning it, but just Ravens winning it all?
No, no. I have the Ravens winning it all, the division and the AFC making it to Super Bowl.
Okay.
And in the NFC, I'll have to go with the Eagles. They won it last year. The team is stacked. Um, Jalen Hurts he got over that hump again and whipped by KC in that Super Bowl. They came back. They got their league back last year. Defense is solid. I don't see that division a real competition for them. Maybe the Commanders. Dallas sucks. Even though Dallas got some weapons now, but they just defense they have no running back. Their defense is iffy with not signing Michael Parsons, so they have a lot of question marks in that division. So they can rest their guys, get them healthy for the playoffs. Um, I do see the Rams as a big challenge in the NFC. You get a healthy Stafford, they get all their weapons back. Their defense is always solid. But I just think nobody's going to beat the Eagles. I think they're just too strong. I would say the 49ers. 49ers are always good, but 49ers lost a lot of weapons too. And you don't know how McCaffrey's coming this year, which is a big weapon for them.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with the Eagles.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
yeah, when I look at the grand scheme of things and I'm just like yeah, to me it's Eagles or I just like the Rams. And the main reason why I have the Rams is I feel like they got Devontae Adams. They lost Cooper Cup, but I feel like Devontae as a possession receiver could just put as much production as Cooper Kupp. But if they're healthy, I liked what I saw out of the Rams at the end of last season. I think the 49ers are going to kind of take a step back. I think people are going to figure Purdy out a little bit more. McCaffrey's hurt half the time. Yeah, so interesting stuff.
So like your sleeper pick is the Rams. I know this isn't a sleeper pick because they were good last year and solid the year before. I'm saying the Lions. The Lions. If it's not the Eagles, it's going to be the Lions. The Lions get Aiden Hutchinson back, added to that pass rush. They got that dual threat and running back with Gibbs and was it Montgomery?
Montgomery.
They got Amara St. Brown. They got Laporta. So they got a lot of weapons. Obviously, they had to put it together in the playoffs because they blew a couple leads because that coach sometimes is coach a little reckless.
Yeah.
But I think that's the only thing that can give the Eagles. Obviously, injuries is a big key in football. Everybody has to stay healthy because if Hurts go down, the Eagles are not winning it.
Yeah.
No.
No.
So it's just like, but it's hard to go against the Eagles because they dominated last year. They didn't get worse, and then the rest of that division sucks. So it's just like I think they have an easier road to the playoffs. So like they can rest the guy. Like, hey, AJ Brown's a little sore. Hey, sit down 2 games. We don't need you. So be healthy for the playoffs.
Yeah. Though I have the Lions up there. The reason why I didn't pick them though is because one, they lost their offensive coordinator. So what their edge over teams was last year was their offensive play calling, but also their head coach and some of his decision making from a risk standpoint was also their downfall. So maybe they take a step back and aren't as risky, but the offense is still high powered. But it's all about who calls those plays. I think that's my only concern with them. But people, man, it's crazy to think how deep the Lions are. You got Goff in that system if it's still intact, but you got Laporta, Amon St. Brown, freaking Jamison Williams, and then you got 2 nasty running backs. Like, arguably the best offense, if probably the best offense in football. It's just, I just see themselves shooting themselves in the foot, and it's also Detroit. They're cursed.
When you're a franchise that don't know how to win, you just don't know how to win when it's time to the playoffs. You just find a way to lose.
Yeah, that's the New York
You know
Jets.
who? Yeah, one of my sleepers in the AFC is the Chargers. I think the Chargers, everything relies on Herbert. He has to, for some reason, put everything together. But he has all the talent. He has weapons now. He has all the coach gave him all the confidence. So hopefully, this year is the year that they can make something. I feel like that's my sleeper pick in the AFC is the Chargers.
Yeah. Harbaugh there now too. Harbaugh's shown he can coach in NFL, so I like that. All right, we're gonna close it out.
Too bad the Giants are gonna take him.
Who?
Too bad the Giants are gonna take it.
The Giants, bro. Hey, I like Jackson Dart. He hopefully he becomes the QB and makes it work out there.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, listen, Russell Wilson, he's washed up. I used to love him, but he's washed up. Wouldn't mind seeing Jameis win it. The spot because he'd be throwing 30 interceptions and calling it a dub, so it don't matter. But I like Jackson Dart. But yep. So that's gonna wrap up today's episode. Club WPT drama. Jesse Lonis talked about poker content, some tournaments. We'll probably be back. Let's say 2 weeks. With our next episode, and by that point, we'll be able to recap week 1 and 2 of college football, week 1 of NFL. We'll be talking about the next set of house poker games we're going to be running and maybe some predictions and some fun stuff for that. Maybe we'll get some audience suggestions on how we can do some gimmicky stuff for our house games, whether it's like the necklaces or the bounties or something, make it fun. But other than that, that's today's episode. I'm out. Thanks you guys for tuning in. Check us out on Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys later.
I'm about to go level up. I cannot settle for nothing. I never been regular. Always knew I could do better.